CC or post you. Say, tag you.
On LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But we're live, so let's do it. Back again. It's going to be a busy, fast-hitting day. I'm very excited, and the energy is already crazy here. Everyone's been great. So let's kick this off. Joey, if you can, give us your name, who you're with, and what you do.
Hey there. Okay, my name is Joey Furlett. I'm Chief Legal Officer of Cedar. We are a home affordability company that's nationwide and also in Canada as well, so U.S. and Canada based.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize who we were about to interview. I'm gonna get the different.
We had 10, so far 10 and 12 interviews, all with surveyors, and now we have somebody that's not a surveyor, but
So I'm not a surveyor, but I'm deeply in the geospatial world. Back before I made the questionable decision, to go to law school, used to do research into sort of the beginning stages of AI with GIS. 15 years ago, doing that. So.
All right, so I have 17 questions. First off, give us a little more background of how you are involved in the geospatial community, given your current position.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, first of all, I'm on the board of directors of the Hawaii Geographic Information Coordinating Council. Second of all, legal work with real estate is a nuanced thing, but there's a lot of survey review. And so in my background, I've closed a little over 1,700 transactions. So, 1,700 transactions. And that means reviewing the surveys for every single one of those, making sure you're looking at the lines on each of those, looking at the title reports, doing the full title search on every gosh darn one of those. And that's my background that got me to where I'm at now. And prior to starting my company out in the Cedar, that's how I got where I'm at.
So in the survey world, you're kind of like a unicorn where you're like, you aren't a surveyor, but you get it.
Yeah.
You get the importance of all the things that the profession does and why they do what they do. What are some of the challenges that you see here in Hawaii, and as far as surveying and property and boundaries that you see?
Goodness, there's a lot of things that can happen in Hawaii with title things that can be beyond just the surveying. One of the complexities we have is like CPRs, for example, the condominium property regimes, effectively a land condominium where instead of going upward with the condo, you go outward. So it's a horizontal versus a vertical spatial component to the land. So you see that pretty often.
Okay.
But honestly, I'd say that some of the more complex situations I've seen have actually, funny enough, been on the mainland. There are some complex things here, but there's plenty of complex things on the mainland too, especially when you get to unincorporated areas.
Okay.
We heard a story yesterday about a building or a house that got built on the wrong lot. Do you know anything about that?
Yep, that did happen out here in Hawaii. Now, I wasn't personally involved in that, but my understanding is that someone they didn't put they started building on the wrong spot. It can happen when you don't use a survey, and frankly, if speaking on a transactional level, it can happen to someone who's buying a place too. They can easily buy a place that is not where they think they're buying if they don't have something called a location endorsement under an Alta title insurance policy. So Alta compliant, or CLTA if you're in Canada, TLTA if you're in Texas, but you want to make sure you have that location endorsement to make sure, am I buying where I think I'm buying?
Oh man,
love that. Oh man, still so many questions.
Shoot away.
Talk about the conference a little bit.
Darn
You probably more on the GIS side, but what we like to talk about is there's no real sides here.
No, they're really, it's two sides of the same coin. The GIS and the surveying, they're two sides of the same coin. Nary shall the two.
What's a coin? I use credit cards.
Yeah, right.
Paper currency.
What? Two sides of the same credit card. One has the signature, one has the number.
There you
go. Picking up what you're putting down.
Love that.
See, because the surveyors they have to sign the thing. The GIS folks, they just get the numbers. So I like the terminology there. That was good. Yeah, but the two sides of the coin don't always meet, but they make one consolidated whole. They have different aspects and different importances. And frankly, when you're doing due diligence on land, whether it's a commercial acquisition or I do a lot of residential acquisitions with things. you have to use a combination of everything.
Mm.
You got to look, in some ways, the GIS can be your ground truthing from afar, versus the survey, which provides you the technical details of just what is the there that is there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The boots on the ground component of land surveying is, I think, one of the most critical pieces of
Mhm.
it. And some of us GISers, we like to do like desktop surveying, but
Oh yeah.
nothing beats actually walking out there.
No. If you do a desktop survey, frankly, if it's not good enough for title insurance, it's probably not good enough for, you know, much.
I think you just made 1,000 new friends by that comment from our audience.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to go ahead and give out your company information?
Yeah.
Maybe getting some calls from our listeners.
So how did you get into this business? And
Uh,
tell us a little bit about, what got you here.
I want to clarify the question. Which business? Talking geospatial. We're talking personal business. What are we talking
Your
about?
personal
Oh,
business. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that too.
I'm
So-
sure you didn't wake up and say, you know what? I think I want to be an attorney that also does geospatial stuff.
But come on, I just woke up out of the bed this morning. That seemed like stuff,
Right? I met with
Gosh.
my guidance counselor,
Yeah,
and they said, you know what? You're the perfect fit for her.
Doesn't every guidance counselor come and you say, I'm a nerdy person. I'm looking for all these things. Don't they just all come up to you and say, I think geospatial is the place you want. Honestly, honest to goodness, I can tell you how I found geography, how we came to be a geography major even at school. I was going in intending to be a math guy. Okay.
Okay.
And I like math. I love math. I was doing oral competitions, of where you have to learn the thing and then teach folks the math, at competitions. I get to college and it was a different vibe of it and it was fine. But I decided that wasn't the path and I tried a few different things. I went, you know what? I'm just gonna let fate take the wheel. Back in the day when we had the paper course guides, right?
Mhm.
I just decided I'm like, I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna just buzz this thing, put my finger down. First class it was. Funny enough, was Intro to GIS.
That's awesome.
Literally,
You literally threw a dart.
I literally threw a dart at the wall.
And hit
I threw a
GIS.
dart at the wall, and I looked at it. I'm like, son of a gun. Well, I mean, I've programmed.
Checked
I
a
like
lot of
math.
boxes.
I know enough about land stuff. Sure, what the heck? Let's go for it. And funny enough, that became a big focus of my career. Truly throw a dart at the wall kind of style.
I got to ask,
Yeah.
mind me saying, where did you go to school?
Oh, a little school out in New Hampshire, Dartmouth College out there. So, yeah,
A little school called Dartmouth.
yeah, I mean,
Don't know
You
if
know
you've
that
heard of
Ivy-
it.
Ivy
I
League
don't know if
and,
you've heard of it, but
special darts at Dartmouth.
we try to keep a little bit of a low profile, but yeah, I went out to Dartmouth College out there, and it's a good place. You're out with the hogs and the frogs out there, and the trees and all that jazz. If you like maple syrup, it's a good place to go. And
so what do you live here in Hawaii now?
yeah, I've been out in Hawaii for close to a decade now.
What brought you out here?
Strange decisions in life, as always.
A
like,
dart.
Yeah,
You're like on a map and you're like,
practically.
You threw the dart, you hit the middle of the ocean, and then you went to the nearest land.
As I say, like every normal attorney, I started my law practice. I'm out there, and I see that and I went directly from college to law school. A lot of folks take a gap year. I went directly there, and I see a lot of folks saying, "Hey, I did teach for America, teach for Japan, teach for China." Whatever. I'm like, did I miss a memo by not teaching? I wonder if I can do some teaching while I'm doing law. Long story short, I ended up, as I say, the boring version of Batman. I became a teacher by day and a lawyer by night. I was doing, English, teaching 11th grade English over at Maui High School. Go Sabres! And
Awesome.
was doing real estate law by night, doing all the survey reviews, etc. So that's kind of how I got out here.
he's literally Daredevil. He's Matt Murdock, right?
No,
Joey, that is the most boring Batman that
the most boring Batman ever existed. Teacher by day, lawyer by night.
That's amazing. I'm curious your answer to this question.
Yeah.
What advice would you give somebody that's looking for something and maybe interested in the geospatial profession?
Well, what I'd say is you should just get your hands into it. You should check things out. There's a lot of different ways to go with it. You can look at whether you're just going to be zooming around on Google Maps, whether you're going to be going around and playing around in GIS, or whether you're just going to be, using tools that are already out there or reading a survey. There's a lot of things you can do with maps. And effectively, if you're touching a map, you're probably touching the geospatial world. And
Mm.
you may not touch it in the way you expect. I mean, heck, these days I do due diligence on purchases of land. That's a lot of what I do. My company, what we do is we are acting as like a point of sale home affordability product for folks where effectively folks are getting homes. They can get it for like between like 70% of the price and half the price of their regular purchase by basically converting to a 99-year leasehold at the purchase, which, convertible anytime back to a fee simple property. You know, title terms, basically you get
Mhm.
99-year right to use the land. You can convert it back to the fee simple at any time. So, you either buy us out or you can, do it at the next sale. But uh, when we're doing that sort of stuff, I have to review the surveys. I have to do a lot of the background on that. But
Mm.
you wouldn't think it'd be geospatial, but there's a lot of geospatial to it.
And I'm guessing home affordability is a big
Oh, it's
issue
huge.
here, and I'm sure everywhere.
Everywhere.
But
And I mean, let's just, even talking to the general audience here. I mean, like, hey, everyone, surveyors. The fact is that the surveyors and everyone, it's not like this is the most highly paid profession in the world. Let's be serious. I mean, we aren't exactly picking up our 7-digit paychecks to go survey. So, you know, uh, there's a lot of need for affordable homes.
I don't remember the term. I apologize, but
No.
like in New York, where they have pricing for
Yeah.
apartment, what affordable pricing? Do you guys have anything like that
So
here?
that are you talking about the rent caps and things like that? Yeah, honestly, those are kind of a mixed bag because it usually disincentivizes folks to maintain the places. So
okay,
and,
yeah,
and and then people are, they're incentivized to squat on them, for longer periods of time. It as a policy matter, it's a hard thing to do. It also takes government money to do so. If you don't have private industry stepping in and putting some dollars into it, my company kind of acts like the rich uncle that comes in, provides a little bit of money. Hey, pay us a little bit of rent while you're there, just to make it worth our time. But at the end of the day,
but but your company is still about ownership.
yeah, it's about making sure that folks have the next step of homeownership because people have renting. You can rent, people have buying, but there's really not been this intermediate
Is it like a
step.
hybrid model of?
In some ways, yeah,
Like a
but
lease model.
yeah, it's a lease model. So it's actually popular in a lot of You look at out in Europe, there's plenty of folks that have leaseholds that they purchase out there. They just top them up before they sell them. Hey, I'll add another 10 years to the top and then I'll sell it to the next guy. You
Interesting.
have out
Okay.
in Singapore, there's plenty of that. You have heck, all the land out in China is held in leasehold.
I think Mexico's the same
Yep,
way too.
Mexico, there's a lot of leaseholds. Yep, and then actually, it's actually pretty common in a lot of spots in the U.S. too. You go down to Jekyll Island, Georgia. Effectively, that's all held in leasehold down there because it's a state natural land holdings. You have any of the areas that are under the tribal lands, the Tribal Land Act. Those are I'm probably misspeaking on the act, but it's the tribal lands, the Native American lands in general. When folks are buying on them, who are they get a leasehold. If someone gets a DLNR piece of land or they get a BLM land, they're getting it on a leasehold.
Interesting.
And some
Okay.
developers down in even Florida, they've had those. A lot of fraternity houses they're held in leasehold. Every McDonald's is a leasehold. Practically everyone.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
own the land and then they lease off the land to
It's
the
that rich
yeah.
Uncle McDonald that
Yeah.
is sponsoring all
Yeah,
those.
hey, we love you, McDonald's. You're good folks. It's all good.
I saw that movie. I know the
Yeah,
documentary.
right.
Goodness.
Joey, all good stuff. Anything else you want to get out there before we let you go?
Oh goodness, just want to say thank you to you guys for letting me be on board here. If anyone wants to know more about the company that I'm part of,
Sure.
it's a
Yeah. How do
we
they find out
yeah
more?
yeah it's we have www.getcedar.com for the US and www.getcedar.ca for the Canadian. We're based out of Ontario for that one, and yeah, uh, good stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone who likes geospatial stuff, I hope that they you know hope they're enjoying all the content here.
Yeah. That sounds great. One last question.
Yeah.
Do you have a mantra that you live by?
Lordy, that's a good question. and I'm sure there's a good answer to it, but generally what I look at is you want to ride the wave in life. You know,
Ah,
you
That
ride
is a
that,
amazing
that,
Hawaii.
that is,
yeah,
yeah, that is
yeah.
on point.
You ride the wave. You know, you don't look back, you look forward, and you use your experience to guide you. And that's the same thing with everything in geospatial, really. I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. Every survey you've done, every survey you've analyzed, you're looking at all of the things, all the edge cases, all the good, all the bad, and that's what comes to the understanding at the end. So, yeah,
Well, I like riding that wave.
Yeah, that's amazing. Great
yeah,
stuff, Joey. Appreciate you.
yeah.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you,
Thanks for coming by and
appreciate it.
enjoy the rest of the day.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you,
thank
appreciate it, guys.
Oh, great. Perfect.
Hope that was fun for you guys.
Oh,
That was awesome.
That's
Yeah. Yeah, you probably don't get a lot of folks who are, specifically
I know
not a
just
surveyor
like
now.
different perspectives and
Yeah.
and especially industry